I'm Digitrevx, and today I'm going to show you how to add Oppai physics to your MMD character. Now, I'm going to use Yani-chan as an example because she was never born with the Oppai physics when I made her. So I figured she'd make a pretty good example to kind of show you guys how to make a single bone uh, Oppai physics rig. Not independent, because it looks kind of strange to be honest, but a single bone. Um, if you're interested in Nani-chan, you can find her at animiku.com. Under, oh gosh, where was it? About Ani-chan. And scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the MMD character and the download button, so you can have her all to yourself. The other thing too is I'm using the PMX editor for this tutorial, so if you would like a partially translated English PMX editor, you can find it under the Animiku site, under downloads, tools, and at the very bottom download button. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to add a single bone, and so we're going to go down here, hit the plus button, add a single bone, and we are going to allow it to be translatable so it can move left, right, up, and down. Turn on bones, hit our manipulator, and move them to the Oppai region. And we're going to click on another bone because the editor has a weird issue of popping bones back to where they originally started before you moved them when you start messing with settings in here. So we're going to do that. And we are going to find the torso bone, which is 6. And we're going to assign the new bone to 6. And we're going to, just so we know the orientation of the bone, we are going to tell it to, let's see, let's try 0.5. So it's going the wrong way. So we're going to do negative, there we go, negative 0.5. So we now know the direction, just for cleanliness, keeping it clean. And we're going to use the more automatic way of making physics instead of the more manual way in my last video, because I was just really trying to show you guys how it all comes together, how it works basically. So it helps you. It's like kind of like, yeah. So if you go down to edit, that's what this is, go down to bone, just look for the B there if you don't know Japanese, and scroll all the way down here to where you see, basically you're looking for the two options that have joint in them, and go to the bottom one here. Make sure you have the bone you want to add physics to selected before you do this, and it'll prompt you, and hit OK. And if you turn on physics and colliders down here at the bottom, you'll see the new stuff that it made. And so if you have everything turned on up here, you can actually start selecting the new stuff you made. And we're going to go to the collider tab, and select the collider you made, which is 69, because we'll need to know that later. And we're going to rotate it 90 degrees in the Z. And we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see, let's try 0.5. And let's try 0.9, see how big that's going to make it. So we need a little bit bigger, so 1.2. That's pretty good. That doesn't be super accurate. And we're going to move it back so it kind of matches this shape a little bit. Let's say if this, if this would if we'd be doing this for real, we want it to be matching as much as we can. So it's good practice. And we're going to, so because we kind of automatically generated using the edit make physics on bone option, it automatically assigns it to the correct bone, which is really helpful. Joints, it doesn't do that so much when you have a single bone. If you have a chain of bones, it'll do it automatically, but in this case we have a single bone, so it does not, so we need to add that. So that's why we remembered 69. So we're going to go all the way down and say assign to 69. Now, since joints are the glue that holds colliders together, we need to find the other collider it's going to glue to, basically. So we're going to select any of these other torso colliders in here in this general area. Whatever makes sense, you know, that it should be bound to. So in this case, I chose 10. So remember 10, we're going to go back at the joints, and we're going to select 10. So we should be good as far as the rig is set up at this point. It's not tuned, but it's set up. So we're going to turn all this stuff off, and we're going to actually apply the weight, or the assign the vertexes to the bone to actually morph the mesh when the bone moves and stuff. So it looks like the oppai are bouncing or whatever. So we're going to go to the orthographic views. So you hit this button up here in PMX Editor, it opens up these 4 different views, and they're really helpful because they're perfect in every direction. So we want the side. By the way, it's going to open like this by default. So if you want to make that bigger, just do what I did and just grab it and slide it over so you can kind of make it a little bit bigger. And we're going to want to open up the weight tool, which we have here. And the last thing we're going to want to do is go to mode and select weight. And it's going to remove the texture from your character, but it's going to show you how much weight visually is applied to the bone, which is really helpful. So we're going to turn on paint, and we're going to paint 100% weight, so it shows 100%, to the area in which I think should be affected by this bone. So we're going to select all that area, and that should be pretty good. And just like how you kind of weight hair in my previous tutorials, we are going to here's another thing too, and sometimes this gets me too, is you want to make sure this is off so you can paint through the model. Because I was just looking at it here and I'm like, why is it not painting correctly? It should be all solid red right here. So you want to turn that off so it'll allow you to paint through the model. There we go. That's more like what we're looking for. Okay. So so now we're going to want to do the hair technique. So we check this box because we want what we're going to do now to only select the weighted area already. And we're going to go to the triple chevron, which is like kind of like a gradient tool. And we're going to want to click and drag. And that's going to make a nice gradient. This way, when that bone moves, it's morphing it nicely and smoothly. Otherwise, it would look, you know, I don't know, like Legos. They're just shear off, basically, which is not ideal. And the last thing we're going to want to do just for cleanup is fix some minor issues here. So we're going to go to this view, uncheck this. We're going to turn off the ability to paint to the backside, and we're going to looks like based on the color here, like 45%. And I'm basing that off the color of the vertexes, because the vertexes actually have a slight color based on how much weight is assigned to it. It's just something you just get used to, basically. So looks pretty good. And 45 one more time. Actually, both these 45 and this 25. And this middle section, I'm going to paint 25, 25, 25, and this will be all 0. And the reason for that is because this just looks like part of her suit cosmetically. It just looks like it's so tight that it wouldn't actually stretch. So this kind of like shirt piece that is, you know, containing the oppai will basically stretch and stuff, which seems like it would make a little more sense. So that's what we're going to do. So by unassigning it from that bone, that's not going to be affected any longer. So So now we need to tune the physics a little bit just to kind of see it working. So we don't want any rotation, so we're going to zero all this out. All this is going to get 0. And we want them to only bounce in the Y axis, so just up and down right now. So we're going to put a little bit of dampening, and we're going to do like 0.4 in the axis going up. This is the axis going down, so we're going to leave that at 0 right now. And we're going to change the collider, which actually has the weight of the Oppai, to 0.5 and 99. So they're not shaking forever, basically. And let's see how that looks right now. And I made a mistake. Need to go to colliders and select your collider and make it ignore all of the other colliders in the model, and that'll fix our problem that we're seeing right there. So there we go. So now if I kind of do like a little shake test, you can kind of see how they're moving. They kind of just bounce. So basically when she does a little jump, it'll be like boink boink. So if we want to add like a little bit, if that's not enough for you and you want to add a little more bounce to them, I guess, all it takes is like some simple tuning. So let's say we're gonna make them, okay, let's go to the joints first. We're gonna add a little bit more bounce down, for example, so they can actually bounce down instead of stop. And we're gonna make them go a little bit left and right, just a little bit. And we're gonna need them to, because we're allowing them to move more, we need them to stay fixed a little bit more. So we're gonna add actually some stiffness to them. So try 500 here. And we're gonna go back to the physics collider, and we're going to lower the weight just a little bit, and we're gonna crank up the dampening so that way they don't, because basically I'm making them a little bit stiffer, and naturally with physics, if you make them stiffer, they vibrate more, they shake and twitch more and stuff. So we want to counter that with making them basically stop bouncing so much quickly. So go back to physics, and it has kind of a nice effect. It's just enough kind of bounce. So you have basically you have the up and down bounce that we had before, but then you have this kind of like after effect kind of jiggle thing. So if I don't know if that's your thing, then you pretty much got it right there. So so yeah, that's basically kind of, you know, how it works. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So anything you can add to basically any female character. So I'd show you a video of her working in MMD, but Fraps and my computer don't like each other when it comes to MMD for some reason. So I will render out a video at the end of this, and edit it into this tutorial video at the end. So so yeah, I hope you found this helpful. You know, if you're looking for this sort of thing, it's pretty simple. This same technique can be used for like little details, like you know, like the little like moe curl you see on top of some models, so they have the little like little cute curl in the hair. Something like this can work for that as well. So you just have to be creative with it, and just, you know, use your joint settings to your advantage, basically. So so that'll be it for this tutorial. If you have any suggestions for other tutorials, and I have some time to fit it in, I will definitely do my best to fit it in for you and help you guys out. Thanks for watching.
Hi-Fi Raver.